Control is quiet. Control grows in the background. Control expands inside small allowances. Every time you accept something below your potential, you give it permission to stay. Permission becomes pattern. Pattern becomes identity. Identity becomes limitation. The most powerful force shaping your life is not what you desire, it is what you allow. Allowance defines boundaries. Boundaries define standard. Standard defines outcome. When you train, if you accept off-range repetitions, off-range becomes normal. When you accept sloppy form, sloppiness becomes automatic. When you accept cutting the last rep short, short effort becomes habit. Your body adapts to the level you tolerate. Your life does the same. Toleration lowers threshold. Lower threshold weakens capacity. Weak capacity reduces growth. Threshold is the point where discomfort begins. Most people retreat at the first sign of discomfort. A retreat becomes reflex. Reflex becomes weakness. Weakness compounds silently. You may not notice it at first, but over time, small allowances accumulate. Missed reps, reduced intensity, lower expectation. Each one seems significant. Together, they define trajectory. You are controlled by the standards you accept. If your standard is low, your output matches it. If your standard is sharp, your output raises to meet it. The barbell does not lie. If you tolerate less weight, you lift less weight. If you tolerate heavy load, you grow stronger. Life mirrors this structure. If you tolerate distractions, focus weakens. If you tolerate inconsistency, progress slows. If you tolerate mediocrity, excellence becomes unreachable. Control does not require external force. Control requires internal tightening. Tightening your threshold, raising your baseline, eliminating softness. Softness creeps in quietly. It disguises itself as flexibility. It presents itself as balance. But balance without standards becomes decay. Decay is gradual. It does not collapse suddenly. It erodes slowly. Erosion is invisible daily, but visible yearly. You are not controlled by dramatic events. You are controlled by repeated allowances, allowing poor posture, allowing skipped intensity, allowing distracted focus, allowing off-hearted effort, allowing shortcuts. Each allowance lowers internal authority. Authority defines discipline. Discipline defines repetition. Repetition defines growth. If authority weakens, repetition weakens. If repetition weakens, growth slows. Slow growth creates frustration. Frustration creates doubt. Doubt creates hesitation. Hesitation creates stagnation. It begins with tolerance. Raise tolerance for effort. Lower tolerance for weakness. If you perform a set and stop early, ask why. Is it true fatigue or is it discomfort avoidance? Discomfort avoidance is subtle. Your inner voice whispers, "That's enough. Good enough." Good enough destroys greatness. Close enough destroys potential. Enough destroys expansion. Expansion requires push beyond comfort. Comfort shrinks ambition. Ambition must be fed by challenge. Challenge must be embraced deliberately. When you step into training, define your minimum standard before you begin. Not during, not after, before. Minimum acceptable form, minimum acceptable intensity, minimum acceptable completion. If you do not define your minimum, comfort defines it for you. Comfort sets low bars. Low bars produce low outcomes. Raise the bar. Raise it quietly. Raise it daily. No announcement, no dramatic shift. Just tighter expectation. Expectation shapes effort. Effort shapes capability. Capability shapes identity. Identity shapes future. If you tolerate sloppy execution today, you will tolerate bigger compromises tomorrow. Compromise expands, it never shrinks on its own. You must cut it early, cut it consistently, tighten form, extend rep, increase focus, finish strong. Every session is negotiation. You negotiate with discomfort, you negotiate with resistance. If resistance wins often, it gains authority. Reclaim authority. Set rules. Do not accept incomplete work. Do not accept distracted focus. Do not accept reduced intensity. You become what you repeatedly allow. When you allow off effort becomes baseline. When baseline lowers, ceiling lowers. Ceiling defines potential. Potential shrinks when standards shrink. You may not feel it immediately, but over time the gap widens between what you could become and what you settle for. Settling is silent. Settling feels reasonable. Settling feels practical. But settling creates long-term regret. Regret builds slowly. It accumulates from tolerated compromise. Remove compromise. If your rep is incomplete, finish the rep. If posture breaks, reset. If focus drifts, realign. Micro corrections matter. Precision builds momentum. Momentum builds capability. Capability builds dominance. Dominance grows from tightened standards. You cannot demand elite results while accepting average execution. There is misalignment. Alignment requires stricter tolerance. Tolerate discipline, reject mediocrity. When you step under load, commit to full execution. No partial range, no mental drifting, no cause effort. Full engagement, full commitment. That habit spreads. It spreads into work, it spreads into conversations, it spreads into decisions because your nervous system adapts to standards. If you train yourself to accept less, you accept less everywhere. If you train yourself to accept more, you elevate everywhere. Tolerance is contagious. Raise it intentionally. Lower tolerance for laziness. Lower tolerance for distraction. Lower tolerance for low quality output. The moment you notice decline, correct it. Correction strengthens awareness. Awareness strengthens discipline. Discipline strengthens identity. Identity strengthens trajectory. Trajectory determines long-term position. Weak tolerance produces weak outcomes. Strong tolerance produces expansion. Expansion compounds. Compounding builds advantage. Advantage builds leverage. Leverage builds freedom. Freedom is built on strict internal standards, not loose acceptance. Tighten grip, tighten form, tighten expectation. You are not harsh. You are precise. Precision protects progress. Progress requires protection. Protection requires boundaries. Boundaries require enforcement. Enforce your standards quietly, consistently, relentlessly, because what you tolerate controls you.